Next, we will be transitioning into an important workshop on cyber threat and cyber resilience in the legal sector, where we will learn practical insights into how to protect ourselves from cyber attacks in today's digital age. Please join me in welcoming Marek Laskowski, IT Director at Domanski Zakrzewski Palinka, DZP, Poland, to lead us through this important session.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Marek Laskowski. I'm the head of IT department in one of the biggest Polish law firms. Today, I will be focused on the topic connected with the cybersecurity, because this is the topic very high important role in our market. My role is to CISO, Chief Security Officer. I will be focused on about how we should react how risk is our environment, how we should perceive our realities connected with the cyber activities and technology. Couple words about my companies. We are a law firm, biggest law firm, 200 lawyers, 9 practices. We cooperate around the world with a lot of specialists. 90 countries, business relation network we base it on, and we finally focus on the typical commercial market, litigation practices, life sciences, and a lot of specific practice connected with merger and acquisition companies around the world. Our primary goals we call that is more than law, meaning that we are focused on all the aspects of our clients' activities, technology too. I try to show you how difficult is this reactions connected with technology. What's today? Today I wanted to speak during 20 minutes, by the way. I wanted to speak about general aspect of threats, which we touch every day as a lawyer, as our law firm. On the market. Around the world, we have an absolutely high level risk of our activities is focused on how we should react in it. Actually, in the era of AI, we have to participate in this. It's everything what in this brand happening. I will be on the end of the story. I will be focused on a bit of technological. For a long time, we have been trying to build our own security landscape by technology, by the procedures, and a lot of very sophisticated elements. And finally, we built it, and then finally, we tried to use it. I will try to share everything connected with it. After backstage, I'm open for questions, and finally, I can be more deeper about technology. The first question for all is why we as a lawyers, our law firm, we are the object of potential attack. We are vulnerabilities. Why? Because we should in a moment become the typical hackers. How the hackers thinking about us? The hacker thinking about us by perspective of our vulnerabilities. What's mean? If, for example, I'm as a hacker wanted to take sensitive data of my client, such a big companies, for example, I could think that the better option would be the breaches the security companies who is representative of it. Why? Because probably it would be easier. Means that when we have a less level of our securities, our client has a problem. Don't forget that we, as a law firm, we are the depository of our client's sensitive data. What's mean? That we are responsible for everything what is deposited us. That's the truth. How looks like our company's business? The first aspect is that everything based on our reputation. When we lost our client data, who trust us in the future? Lack of awareness. Yes, that's true. Who from you thinking about that we have a potential problem with security? This is really, really important aspect of it. Digital transformation means that the law firms permanently participated in digital transformation, all the sectors. Why? Through the clients. Because if client is engaged in digital technology, adopted the technology, tried to use this technology, then finally law firms has to follow him. We have a cybersecurity debt. How long we invested in our security? Unfortunately, not so long. The problem is that when the potential hackers look at us, perceive us, this is probably the companies which have a security debt and would be easier to hack them. We have examples, by the way, around the world, a lot of absolutely top-level law firms hacked. For example, the main issue, what we are targeted, the main issue is that there's ransomware. Ransomware means that when we hacked, we have to pay it. Okay, we answer, we never negotiated with terrorists. Yes, sure, of course. But if not, we have a problem. If we pay even, we have a problem too. Because we never know that we have access on our environment again. One of the biggest celebrities law firm from the United States been hacked, and the samples, that was a very, very interesting case, that samples which sent to these companies to trust that we hacked you, that was a Lady Gaga materials, such a materials, and then finally after it, they paid $42 million. Okay, never say that paid, by the way. That's next case connected with the 100 law firms, the biggest 100 law firms, from one top of the 100 law firms, reported 2 big law firms affected. Can you imagine what happened? That lost the client data. Like this, 4 terabytes data, including ID, personal data, sensitive clients document, etc. Australian law firm has both lost it. That's the question why. Because always is the problem with how high level security we should implement it that to be secure. We never obtain that 100% security. Unfortunately, never. What is the outcome? Impact. What's the consequence of the impact? Game is over. Sorry. Our reputation collapse. Our data clients collapse, lost it, everything is a problem. And who trusts us again when we lost something like that? And finally, the consequence is that we paid. Next couple of the statistics, look at on the left side, 3 the biggest 2024 attacks from the year. Herringstone and Prosquare Rose. This is something like the biggest examples of it, and very interesting summary perception of cybersecurity. 26% of law firms believe that we are the best in this aspect. We are the best. It's true? I don't know, but I'm not sure that is true. What next? 60% of firms identify the sophisticated level threat of attack. It's a challenge. Means that we don't know what we should do because always risk existing. And I found it that the average ransom level is the $1 million. It's not true. I'm not sure this 23 that was the level of it. We sold 42 million and something more too. I suppose that close to 10 million US dollar is a typical ransom cost. what I found it very interesting, when I scrutinized this darknet especially, you know what is the darknet? Darknet part of the internet which is deeper, hidden, and it's a bit of focus on a bit of problematic activities in it. You know, I found it something what I call as an e-commercial version of the channels what we are using to buy something. In this channel in darknet, you can find it data, documents, files, whatever you want, stolen from law firm. You can buy it. This is like a typical auction. You can buy it, you can offer the pricing, and finally you can. Do you know, by the way, what's the cost of engage from the darknet, buy it typical part of computer which we could use against some target? $26 by hours. If we don't like it, our neighbors, for example, we wanted to switch off infrastructure, we could engage it, typical botnet infrastructure against them. Means $26 by hour. $26 per hour. Okay. How looks like the typical step in a typical attack? This is the universal picture, meaning that doesn't matter what the organization is, it's always the same. First step, reconnaissance. We have to know what we want to hack. This is very simple. Using scanning, it's a lot of software which we can scan our organization. We can find it a lot of interesting sensitive information on the internet, who work here, who is the profile of someone, typical intelligence, white intelligence data. Next step, weaponization, meaning that we prepare the weapon, meaning the ransomware or something else. By the way, now we have an era when we have a lot of AI. We can ask AI, please prepare me the ransom against someone. And based on it, of course, not ChatGPT, because ChatGPT is blocked, but finally it's a lot of different solutions when we can use it. We have a weapon delivery. What is the absolutely top of level of the vector of delivering this, the malware? Email. We're using the email. On the last slide, my presentation will be presented how we try to survive after something similar like I express. Exploitation, meaning that our malware landed in my infrastructure and waiting for your response, waiting for actions. Means that if, for example, such a transaction which is interested me will be generate using this malware, because this is I can switch the button, I can use it, and then finally launch this malware in my organization. 5, installation. 6, command and control, meaning that I took over control on your organization, and I finally have access on everything what is inside. And the last one is the action, means that I've switched the button, and I generally using this malware in my organization. Look at the next part of the statistic, 135% increase email vector use against us, meaning that sending is not just the email like from the past where Google Translator been used. No, it's not. Don't forget it. We have an AI era. This is unrecognizable email. Phishing, multi-stage payload attack, meaning that we are using a lot of vectors simultaneously against us. Email, different contacts. We try to engage a lot of resources to breach our securities. AI means for us generate for us a lot of problems. What means? For examples, can you imagine, because I found it very interesting, next part of the statistic, look at please. 8 trillion, estimated to be over $8 trillion is worth a market, cybersecurity market. This revenue is really, really impressed. What is the important? When we think that we should be, we can be fucked. That problem is that we as a person is just the one aspect, but we have a lot of devices connected on the internet. You know, we have a absolutely, this is the statistic presented, that close to 20 billion devices, CCTV cameras, even our microwave, even our refrigerator is connected on the internet. Washers, by the way. Everything is a potential, our vulnerabilities. AI era generate for us something what we call as an agent of AI. Meaning agent of AI, I think that is software which is existing in our computers, which support us during our everyday task. What's mean? For example, Copilot, Microsoft Copilot. When I asking about something, this is the agent which is launched and supported us answer, looking for an answer, or I don't know, summarize document, etc., etc., or summarize our calls from the Teams, for example. This is the problem because the agent is the next our vulnerabilities. It's a lot of software naturally generate the vulnerabilities. Why? Because every day is the more complicated. Developing, edit new functionality, we try to looking for. By the way, a lot of problem is generated natively because it's the nature of it. I didn't, by the way, connected with the AI, I didn't mention about something what is next step of it. Means two things. In a moment, I suppose that this year maybe would be the first, but next year will be the next, absolutely happen, quantum computers. You know what means for us? That we still try to follow what the AI doing in our infrastructure. Means that when quantum computer happen, we lost the control totally because we don't understand what the AI will be doing. AI is engaging in something else because when we perceive the market of the security market, we have to know that we have two sides of this market. The one side is our infrastructure, our vulnerabilities, our activities, our defense, by the way. But the second, on the other hand, we have adversaries who try to attack us. Means this is like a typical battlefield. Both sides, by the way, using the AI. Because my systems, which I'm using, in my infrastructure, are using the AI. A lot of functionality. But hackers using against me AI too. This is unfortunately problem what will be increasing every year. How not to get hacked? This is the problem. This is really very difficult answer. Please look at this picture. I chosen for you absolutely basic level element connected with what should be implemented in your infrastructure. On the left side is the MFA, multi-factor authentication. This is absolutely minimal. I suppose that now 90% of software implemented this functionality. You have the second factor of our authentication. The first is, for example, password or biometric, etc. The second one is, for example, the text on our message. Next case is like something what I call RMS, Right Management System. Right Management System is a group of systems which give us the chance to save privileges, save control on our security, on our access on our documents, even if these documents will be outside. Means that if, for example, I have a Word file, for example, a documents, I send my clients, and I've sent my clients, I still have a control on it. I can take the access, I can limit the access when my client, even when my client receive it. And this is something what we using, we implemented, because sometimes it's a problem that we wanted to replace the version of the documents, that when we try to limited access on the previous version, we can edit the new version, but a client lost the access on the previous version of documents, for example. Backup. We know that we are the best guy because we have a backup for everything. Yes, but the question is how fast and how often we are trying to check that our backup still is openable, still is possible to open. This is very, very problematic. During the attacks, what I mentioned on the previous page, backup been encrypted too, and finally we lost this access on the backup. That's the problem. That's unfortunately the problem. Training, because there's still human is that crucial aspect of us. We have to train our personnel, our staff, because the staff, it's a main vector of attack. We try to hack staff, and the next step is hacking the technology. External monitoring, we have a lot of companies around the world which we call as a SOC, Security Operation Team, which is the external company which looking for us what happened in our infrastructure, because sometimes we have to go to sleep, by the way. But hackers never sleep. That's the answer, unfortunately. We are supported by these companies and try to react. This is the international activities. And penetration test maybe as a one. We engage the external companies to check our vulnerabilities from the outside. What's mean? We absolutely 100% sure that we are the best, of course. But sometimes we don't know where is our vulnerabilities. If we have a special team, red team, who will be engaged against to check our vulnerabilities, would be the maybe we know where is our gap. Where is our gap? That's true. Okay, maybe next something. Real case from my organization from the last year, by the way. I describe step by step what happened. On the market, spreading the news that DZP, my companies, will be realized one of the biggest Polish market M&A transaction. One companies will be take over the second companies, different. What happened? Our adversaries launched the first step of attack. Do you remember what was the first? Checking, looking for information, because they will have to know what happened. Open source intelligence, using the information who is responsible for this transaction, when the transaction happened, and a lot of gathered information connected with it. That's it. First contact with the client, with the lawyers who will be responsible for it, based on the linking. And the sending guys, I'm a friend, guys, I wanted to connect with you, etc., etc. Of course, lawyers, relation business, like the contacts accepted, etc. That was trying to engage in this contact, sending, I'm a CEO of the biggest companies, maybe we can cooperate each other doing business, etc., etc. That's the contact will be saved by 3 months before the transaction happen. Next step, that would be simultaneously, by the way, will be checking the pre-vector attack, asking guy, okay, how many people is engaged in this transaction, or a lot of information try to obtain it, which is not especially public, but is in this guy. Finally, and simultaneously still, try to correct potential attack. Correct, preparing the plan, verify the plan, try to change it everything, and preparing to final strike. Final strike happened the week before the transaction, when our security systems, this is, I think, about technology, reacted. This is the special part of our security systems, meaning endpoint protection. This is the software which is existing in our workstation. Means that reacted that is something wrong, this email is suspicious. please try to check, please try to do something. When this email stopped by our systems, of course, this lawyer used an uncensored word and finally furious. How come I've lost in a moment $1 billion, etc., etc. We launched a scrutinized typical process where we checked, and finally we explained them what happened, and finally what would have happened if he opened this email, or finally if our system didn't react. This is the real problem. And then finally, when he understood what happened, we explained everything, of course, begging us, and pardon, that's true. But I wanted to show that it's extremely frustrated when security system try to react and we don't understand why this reaction is here. It's something like that. And if you are the CISA, Chief Security Officer, you have to be really, really resistant. What next, guys? I wanted to show you that our cybersecurity architecture, I don't want to perfectly describe this landscape because it's an absolutely technological perspective, deep technological perspective, but we have to know that we have absolutely a lot of layers of it. First layer, technological layer first, is next generation firewall. We have to still. Okay, that would be the firewall, physical existence in our data center, in our data room, but it's not. Sometimes we have a cloud infrastructure, we can launch that virtual next generation firewalls. Zero trust idea, I mentioned in the previous slide about it. We don't trust anything, zero. Means that everything what is sent for us is scrutinized. It's engaged, it's a checking by our system. It's verified. Of course, it's not a long process because it's like an automatical process, but still, we engage a lot of bots, a lot of AI to checking everything connected with it. Anti-advanced persistent threat. It's a deeper part of our physical technical infrastructure, means that it's something what gives us that in generally visibilities. We know what happened in our infrastructure. We know where we are, how we should react, why the system reacted. Give us that very sophisticated information about it. But advanced prevention, detection, a lot of different realities. And the last one, still, human is the main factor in our activity. Human means my team, security team, which try to react. That's probably everything what I want to say. If you have a question, please feel free to ask me. Yeah, I see.
Thank you. So do we have any question from the audience? Yes, we have one.
Marek sir, good afternoon. I have a question for you. Suppose if all else fails, what happens if this best practice, everything fails? Can we shut it down? Is there any fail-safe mechanism? Do we lose out on our profession?
All mechanisms which we implement, or you should implement, it's absolutely deeper technological connected with reality. But in my opinion, absolutely crucial element, what you should start build your security landscape is education. You should educate your team. You should know that it's important, you know? Because I remember when we started in our companies, that was 10 years ago. Lawyers, hurry up. I'm permanently walking around the corridor. This is disaster. You wanted to engage me the 1 hour spent in the one place and speaking about it? How come? It's impossible. Now, we have absolutely different reactions. If I don't know what someone sent me, that ask guys, please check it. I'm not sure that I recognize who is this guy, and we check it. That's the level what we should obtain. That's the answer for your question. And technology, of course, you should be supported by a lot of technological companies, but it's not the primary aspect. Any question?
So do we have any question from the audience? All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.